Tokyo is down, boys. Japan is down, and we get 89% of the score, which means we can basically do whatever we want with it. So let's confirm. It is July 1942, Japan is down, and we did something amazing with India. In 1937 we had 8 factories and nothing at all. And now we have absolutely amazing stability, amazing war support, huge manpower, and finally a good industry. But more importantly, we got a navy. We got the entire Japanese navy. And with the Japanese navy, we can do anything we want at this point. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. We all know it, Graveyard of Empires had a tough reception. And there is no denying the fact that most pets are quite underwhelming. However, since release the DLC has improved and at least now it's finally stable. So you should definitely not skip on this guide. India can become incredibly powerful and I'm going to show you exactly how. Moreover, I will share with you an amazing template to use in low supply areas, which we will abuse to completely destroy both China and Japan. If that sounds interesting, then this is the right video for you. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask in the comments and make sure to join our Discord to meet our amazing community. And of course guys, as usual, if you enjoy the content I make, please do not forget to support the channel by liking the video, subscribing and leaving me a comment. But that's all for the introduction, so let's get started with India. It's time to make India great again. You know the drill. As usual guys, you can find all researches and focuses in the description of the video, so they will not be covered in the guide itself, and you can get access to the dedicated spreadsheet by purchasing a tier 2 membership to the channel. As for the first part of this guide, I will go over it quite quickly because I made a dedicated video about the Civil War, so if needed you can check that out as well as the unedited version. In terms of buildings, we're going to build infrastructures in Delhi and in West Bengal, although you will see the first part of this run is a bit messy, so we'll not be able to build much in the end. We're going to dedicate all of the 2 military factory, no, actually 1. We are going to dedicate all of the 1 military factories we have available to Infantry Equip and all dockyards to convoys. When it comes to the army, we're going to select them and then we're going to disband all of them. For our occupation law, we're going to use harsh quotas. And we're going to select armored divisions up here. Before we can consider the setup done, we're also going to create an agency. The agency is entirely optional. We're not going to use any of the operations, but spies can always be useful for the bonuses they give you in certain regions, so we're always going to use the spies on our next target. We can go. We're going to keep Aden. And in principle, on events, we're always going to prioritize whatever reduces compliance. So disperse the crowd. We're going to select Victor Hope. And at 150 political power, we're going for the silent workhorse. At 100 political power, we are going to pick the Army Reformer Expert. As soon as we get to 10 army experience, we're going to change our armored divisions to include only tanks. In this way, we will make sure that our garrison are unfulfilled and they will actually increase resistance instead of decreasing it. Right, yeah, everything's correct. As soon as you complete this focus, we are going to unlock these new special decisions, and we want to pick them in every single province except for 4 of them. And we don't have enough political power yet. Okay, let me do that again. Sorry. As soon as we complete this focus, we will unlock some new special decisions. These ones here that you can see on the map. We want to pick them in every single province except for Delhi, East Punjab, Bastar, and Arunachal. Sorry about the pronunciation. Now, we don't have enough political power yet, so I usually start from the bottom and I pick them everywhere except for those 4 provinces. Each time you get to 20 political power, and each time you get to 20 political power, right away pick another one. From now on, when you get these events, usually it's the same one, but pick the one that gives you worse. Sorry again. From now on, whenever you get these events, always pick the decision that increases war support. So this one here, not this one here. Let me check that if that's the last one. So make sure to pick the right decisions. We don't want to pick these ones yet. And if you did everything correctly, you should only have these 4 available. This is the last one for me, so we are done in terms of losing cores. And now resistance is increasing in every single province except for those. Oh, ignore trade whenever. Infantry equipment MIO, although later on we're also going to pick these perks as we unlock them. Nothing. The tendency of clicking on this icon, it's too strong. Now, after completing this focus, our next focus priority is this one here, but you cannot pick it yet. You need to wait for a couple of days. Japan will declare war on China. There we go, right away, and that will increase our war support above 50%, which is what we need to pick this focus. We can now pick it. Now, when the focus is almost done, but not done yet, like 4 or 5 days before the end, we need to pick some other decisions. So pause the game, and it's time to pick this decision. And it is now time to pick this decision in every single province which is below 65%. 65% resistance. Now, Now, there is a bit of RNG to it, but usually this requires about 250 political power. So we should be left with a bit less than 50 to 100 political power, let's say. But look at us right now. Manpower, 0. Industry, non-existent. Production, non-existent. Army, non-existent. Yet, in a few days, we will get a huge army by using these decisions. I'll put the name here. And let's just Alright, so we need it here, here, here. Good, here we're good, here we're not good. Not good, not good, good. Good, good. No, 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 no. Yes, no. Yes. Okay, let's make sure we didn't miss any of them. It's quite important. Okay, it looks good. It looks like I had a fairly good RNG because I picked a decision everywhere needed, and we are left with a bit more than 100 political power. Maybe a bit less if you're unlucky. You know what, maybe I'll pick it in a couple more just to make it a bit more consistent. See, usually you're not this lucky. You can see that there are many of them, but which are exactly at 65%. So these ones, if you're unlucky, they may be slightly below. So maybe in the 65% ones I will pick it. Let's do one more. Okay, something like this. Okay, this is a bit more the range of political power you usually have at this point of the run. Okay, so let's see what happens now when the focus is completed. There we go. So we are now in a civil war. And as you can see, we are in the perfect spot to win it, as we control already most of India. Now, the British Raj usually only controls the area here that we left, the area here that we left and has no that has no victory points, this area also without victory points, and then they usually spawn in another random area in one province. So in this case it was this one here. It may be anywhere else. It's fine. It doesn't matter much. Now for the civil war we have a particular strategy because we get a lot of extra division. Well, let me do that again. Wait. So I covered the civil war in detail in the dedicated guide, but briefly we get these new divisions here. So we're going to select all of them and create a new army with them. It will be a total of 12 divisions. And we're going to use these divisions, micromanage them a little bit, at least something like this, to completely take Sri Lanka here. And these ones, ideally, if we can hold this area, that would be great. But these ones, if we can hold this area, it would be great. These ones we're going to ignore completely. Then, very important, we want to pick the 24 divisions, which are the closest to here. And we're going to assign them a front line here and an offensive line, which will be bugged, of course. Now, let me also put the other ones here so we see which ones are not assigned. Let's assign a couple more here. Okay, now it's a total of 24, that's perfect. Now these 24, we're going to assign them to a marshal, and we're going to make Bose our marshal. We're going to promote him. He's actually pretty good. And then we're going to use our best general, which is this guy. Now here, since they have some divisions, we can maybe create another army and take care of this area. It's not entirely needed, but let's do it. Now for this area here we want about 10 divisions, so we can take some divisions maybe from down here. Let's see, okay, perfect, exactly 10. Let's send them here, prepare an offensive line here too. Can use our second best general for this army. Now for the remaining divisions, we want some of them, usually about half, but you can see the ones which are in this area, to cover with a full back line this front here. Now the important thing would be not to lose victory points. The only victory point in here is this one, so if we can hold it, that's better. Other than that, it doesn't matter much. We can give them a few extra divisions, some to these guys here, but the remaining ones, you can set them on area defense to protect from naval invasions. These really should not be needed, so in case you need them somewhere else, you can also use them somewhere else. You can set them on port protection, so you don't need that many of them. For the fallback line army, let's use our last general, and that should be it. Let's make sure to give them the highest motorization. Actually, no. Let's make sure to give this army the highest motorization priority and aggressively execute battle plans. This is the most important one. Let's give him the offensive doctrine. Now we also have quite a lot of army experience. Which we're going to use for spirits. So we're going to pick political loyalty, tip of the spear, we're going to use it later, and the logistical focus. For buildings we have this special modifier which will expire soon, so we better use it to prioritize the repair of civilian factories above all. Let's do military and civilian first, but civilian have a higher priority. As you can see, the meager industry that we had is now completely non-existent. We actually do want this stuff to be repaired quickly. Okay, I'll make a save just in case. Alright, now let's slow down the speed a little bit. We want these guys to be there as fast as possible. In principle, everyone, we want to be in position as fast as possible. Maybe only these ones we can push right away. Now we're in a great spot, but the UK will join and Burma will join, so we do need to be very fast here. As soon as we are more or less in position, start the offensives. Most of the time they don't have divisions at all, so you can just push. In fact, if you check here, you can see that they have between 2 and 8 divisions. Well, we have 83. So we're in a pretty good spot. Bit annoying that they are defending Delhi. They usually don't have divisions at all in Delhi, but it's still okay. Delhi is also a bit bugged, so it usually doesn't give the victory points it should give. Let's see what happens this time. And you can use force attack, don't worry about anything, just try to be fast. It's our main priority here, is to take them down fast. And why are you guys doing nothing here? And in fact, I think taking Delhi should be enough. Let's see. Somehow it's not marked as their capital, but should be enough. Oh, or this one too. It's their capital. Well, both are going very smoothly. Delhi is down. Did it matter? Yes, not very much, but yes. And Amristar is also down, and that should be it. The British Raj has capitulated. They just don't know yet, but they are down. And that's very good news for us, guys, because the UK could not join at all. And as they go down, we can offer them peace. The civil war is over. Our war is over. We annex the British Raj, and not only that, we also get to keep all of this stuff here that we nicely stole from the UK. Look at that. That's amazing. So, now it's time to rebuild our industry. We have quite a long way ahead of us because despite being fairly big and having stolen stuff from the UK, having won the civil war and stolen stuff from the UK, we still have a very minor industry and we have a weird army. Not a small army anymore. Now actually we have a big army, but these are not the best divisions. The divisions we're using now are these Azad Hind Legion, which are pretty bad. So we will need to change something. Now, in terms of buildings, we're going to prioritize the repairs still, but after that, we want to build more civilian factories in Delhi and in West Bengal. Let's just make sure that these are lower priorities. First, the repair. Now, we're going to make some changes to the army. First of all, we're going to use this template as our defensive template. So let's change the name to def. You can put it up here. And then we want about 48 divisions. These ones, which we are going to change into our def. Everything else, we're just going to disband. So we gain some manpower and some infantry equip. It doesn't matter, they were not the best divisions anyway. We need the equip for something else. Also, by the way, so our defensive template, we actually want it to be 12 width. So something like this. And that's perfect. Now we can split these into two perfect. We can split these into two perfect armies. We can give them to our amazing boss. And in the meantime, and for now, we can keep training these divisions.
Hey, come on.
As soon as we complete this focus, we are going to pick. We're going to pick war economy. And we're going to justify. And then as soon as possible, we're going to justify on Bhutan. We need just a little bit more political power. So right now we can. That's it. Now, as we justify on them, let's also get our spy and let's start spying on them. This is what we will be doing with the spy from now on. Whenever we attack somebody, we spy on them first. It's not needed, but it can help.
Hey, come out. Hey, come out.
Now, for Bhutan, one army is enough, so we can move one army close to them and we can keep training them for now.
हरकत के लिए तैयार.
Now, as soon as you complete this focus, we're going to do some other nice tricks here. Now, what the focus does is it gives us a booster to civilian factory construction speed, depending on the amount of princely states we release. So we're going to release as many of them as possible to get the full boost, which is an insane 32% extra construction speed for civilian factories. We make a save just in case here because it can be a little tricky. Okay, so at this point, we want to release all of the occupied territories. We release them as puppets. So these ones here, here, here. Not Yemen, because that's a return territory. And then we want to release as puppets the Federation of Saudi Arabia. the Khanate of Kalat, the Kingdom of Sikkim, Manipur, the Central Indian Princely States, Kashmir. Then let's give it a look. Let's see what the boost got to. It's 24, so we need 2 more, I believe. Let me check. We need the Kualapur, this one here. Okay, and we are at 32%. So that's our goal. You release as many of them. Sometimes it's different. I don't know exactly why, but usually it is the ones I mentioned right now and the ones we released that you will find in the description of the video as well. And you will get to the full 32% permanent boost to civilian factory construction speed. It's a bit sad that it is for civilian factories. For military factories, it would have been amazing, but still not bad at all.
अपनी जगह लो।
Keep the army experience for now, we will need it later. And at 150 political power, we're going to pick the popular figurehead. If I can find it. We are going to pick the popular figurehead to boost our stability a bit, especially because we will be at war very soon.
कमात।
There we go, as soon as we get our claim. And by the way, guys, one thing that I forgot in the Civil War, luckily it wasn't needed, is we also got some planes, which can actually be very useful. They are not great, but they can be very useful both in the early expansion wars and in the Civil War to make it even faster. It was the fastest ever, so no need, but try not to forget about them. And as soon as you get the claim, in any case, you want to declare war on Bhutan, immediately trigger the offensive, and immediately start a justification on Nepal. The war will be over in no time, but very soon we will also complete our mountain infantry technology, and as you do that, you want to pick the first 3 special forces doctrine here. These ones. And we want to edit this Mountaineer division template. Now it is free because of the doctrines we took. And we're going to make it a 16 with template, so 8 battalions. I'm going to call it Alp, and I'm going to make it Elite. As we do that, we also want to recruit the max possible amount of them, which should be 8 divisions. Make sure that you pick the tip of the spear spirit, as without it, you won't have the cap for that. Now let's take care of Bhutan. When we defeat Bhutan... As for Bhutan, we're going to puppet them with resource rights and war reparations.
तैयार जनाब।
We can send our spy to Nepal, and we can start preparing the army for Nepal as well. The main push must be in here, as the main victory point is in here. But we're going to use all of our divisions for this war. Want to take them down. We want to take them down as fast as possible. Also, let's increase the motorization priority and aggressively execute battle plans. At 150 political power, we are going to pick the captain of industry for an even further boost to our civilian factory construction speed. And we're going to force deploy and train our Alpini divisions. We can also move them in here just in case we need a little help with the push. Now, whenever you get puppet divisions, always disband them.
अपनी जगह लो।
We now want our best general on the Alpini, as this will be our carry army. In terms of doctrines, we're going to prioritize the Mountaineers doctrines over other ones, over regular ones, and we're going for hold the line, as we're not going to use line artillery in this run. Factory. This one. Almost done with our claim, so as soon as we get it, war on Nepal, we're going to attack with everyone. The Mountaineers are not trained yet, but they can still give a hand, and we're going to immediately start a justification on Tibet. That's it. Nepal is down as well. This looks easy, but actually if you don't have the right setup, Nepal can become quite annoying to take down. It looks very, very easy. It's not as easy as it seems. We're going to puppet them with resource rights and war reparations as well. And we're going to get ready for Tibet. Tibet is a bit more annoying. So first of all, because of course, for the geographical position and the mountains. So we need one army to push from here. They will push something like this. The other army will push in the south like this. And then here we're going to start relying heavily on our mountaineers, which will be trained by the time we attack. We're going to set them in here. We're going to rush the capital city. Let me put them here actually. Once again, we can use the spy to make things easier. At 100 political power, we're going to pick the central bank concern. Some more civilian factory construction speed. Like, literally at this point, there might be a chance that we're faster at building civilian factories and converting them to military factories than building military factories directly. It's so insane, the amount of buffs we have to construction of civilian factories. Maybe we can actually see it down here. Yeah, look at the amount of modifiers. That's a 40, 50, 60, 70, 70... 77% if I am not terrible at math like I am. It's a 77% buff to civilian factory construction speed. Insane. Yet, we're not going to use it for much longer because I still think it's better to build military factories directly than to convert them. So from now on, we're going to build infrastructures. Wait a second. So we're going to build infrastructures and then military factories in Sind. What the fuck is Sind? This here. In Sind, Hyderabad, and Bombay. So infrastructures first and then military factories in here.
Russia! Hey, come out!
Love the fact that our mountaineers are almost ready. We're going to have some fun very soon. No, I don't know if this one is unique. I need to check one thing here. Is this unique to that? So if we use it there... No, thanks. Alright. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we take it here... There, I mean, if we take it for artillery, we cannot take it for the other one, probably. It doesn't say so, though. But you know, fucking can't put. But it is the same one. I'm not entirely sure. Here is the artillery MIO priority. At 100 political power, we are going to pick the infantry expert. And we're going to get ready for Tibet because very soon we will get our claim and it will never mind. Because very soon it will be time to attack them. You must know, guys, this will be edited out, but for the unedited people, that today I worked very hard on another couple of guides. I didn't have much time recently, so I worked on Austria and Habsburg Austria and Habsburg Hungary to fix them. And I came up with some very good solutions. The thing is, I'm a bit tired for this run now, so hopefully I will be able to complete it without too many problems. It's usually not a good idea to work on other runs when I have one to make a guide about, because then I'm too tired. But it's fine, it's gonna be fine. There we go. Claim on Tibet, time for war. This is maybe the hardest of these wars. We will make it look easy again because mountaineers are insane. And of course, by the way, here, don't forget to also call these people into the war, otherwise we cannot attack them. So they have a lot of divisions here. I can see them, but we can go around. And the important thing is to take the victory points. There is one there, and there is another one somewhere in here, I think. If we take the victory points, we're fine. Always disband these guys. Okay, yeah, that's the other victory point that we need. Oh, yeah, you also need, we also need to call these guys. That's also the last Mountaineers Doctrine. That's amazing. That's it. Tibet is down as well. That's perfect. Once again, we're going to puppet them. Yeah, it will take a little bit longer to puppet them because our allies should still be. Puppet with resource rights and war reparations as usual. Let's confirm. And we already expanded a little bit, although the game doesn't acknowledge that we did expand a bit. Now let's bring everybody back in here. Train them if needed. At 100 political power, we are going to pick army logistics. We're going to recruit 12. Yeah, I called it inf, not def. That's actually true. Oh, no, never mind, never mind. This is another. Sorry. So I'm going to rename this template, which we already had, to Inf. This will be our standard infantry. And we're going to recruit 12 of them. Now, around this time, you should also be able to complete the Alpini doctrines, the Mountaineers doctrines we just did. And at that point, we can also train more Mountaineer divisions. A total of 4. We're going to make some changes to our production as well, as we want to start producing all of this equipment here. So support equip will have 1, trucks will have 1, trains will have 1, artillery will have 1. And we're going to take all of them from infantry equip. So we bring them to 0 and then back at the top. So this is the new, well, let me bring convoys down here. This is an, yeah, I should make it faster actually. Yeah, sorry guys, let me do it again. We're going to change our production, and this is the new priority we're going to follow. So we want to start producing some of these other equipment types, and we're going to take all of the military factories for these equipment types from infantry equip. Oh no, is this the shit that gives me a billion perks for everything? Oh my god. No. Look at this. Look at this insane thing. Why? 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 It looks like a prank. It looks like a prank directly for me, since I hate MIOs. What's better than a focus that gives you 1 billion MIO perks for useless MIOs that you are never going to use? Can you look at this? Look at this. This is such a joke. What the fuck is this? God damn it. Some of them were useful, but... At 100 political power, we're going to pick improved worker conditions. And at 35 political power, we're going to start a justification on Iran. As usual, in this case, oh, we cannot even spy Iran. Look at that. We need to spy them here, not there. Whatever. Now we're going to add some support companies to our Alpini divisions. All of them. The engineer, the support artillery, the support anti-air, and the rangers. Then later on, as soon as possible, we're also going to add the field hospital. But now we can save them. We're going to force deploy everything, and we're going to start training everywhere. And we're going to start training everyone.
अपनी जगह लो. होशियार. कमात. हरकत के लिए तैयार. कमात.
At 75 political power, we're going to pick radio propaganda. World War II time, but not for us. We'll also be doing some fun stuff pretty soon though. Don't worry.
अपनी जगह लो.
This morning, the British ambassador in Berlin handed the German government a final plot. That they were prepared at once to withdraw their troops from Poland. They stated I have to tell you now that no such undertaking has been received. This country is at war with Germany. Bitter blow it is to me that all my long struggle to win was failed. But I do not believe that there is
होशियार
anything different that could be done and that would have been more successful. It would have been quite possible.
As soon as you complete this focus, you will have some new special decisions. These decisions are pretty cool.
But Hitler would not have it. He had evidently made up his
Now we're going to pick this decision. We're going to pick this new decision everywhere, except for the Maldivian states and Burmese states. So we're going to start here. And what this does is it annexes and cores all of this stuff instantly. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Can do it here, and it's entirely free as well. Can do it here.
Hitler did not wait to hear a comment from him and ordered his troops to cross the Polish
And lastly, we're going to pick the and lastly we're going to pick it in. Oh my god, I cannot speak. And lastly, we're going to pick it in Afghanistan. In this case, we will not, of course, annex it for free, but it will give us the option to retake a core state. So that's going to be a very cheap and fairly fast claim.
today in fulfillment of our obligations.
It's not that fast though, because we don't have the claim yet here, I guess. Yeah, okay.
An unprovoked attack upon her people. We have a clear conscience. We have done all that any country could do to establish peace.
Yeah, okay. Let me change that a bit in the guide.
No word given by Germany's ruler could be trusted, and no people or country could feel itself safe. It become intolerable. And now that we have resolved to finish it, I know that you will all
So we're going to justify retake. So we're going to retake a core state on them as soon as we finish the claim on Afghanistan. A few more days. About 1 more month. From now on, you can keep building military factories in all of the most developed provinces. We're also going to make some changes to the production. Support equip goes up to 7. Trucks at 3, trains at 2. And we take everything from infantry equip. We're going to do more than that though, because we're going to change all of our defensive divisions into infantry divisions. So we're going to increase their size. And we're also going to recruit another 12 infantry divisions.
ध्यान से सुनो
It is now also time to start getting ready for Iran. So we're going to bring our mountaineers in here. They will do the biggest push. And they will be supported by 1 infantry army. The second one will join a bit later, otherwise we'll struggle with supplies. So they can stay back here.
ध्यान से सुनो
In the meantime, let's give them the highest motorization priority, but we need to keep training them, especially these guys, because they will get the new divisions.
कमाल
can continue.
अपनी जगह लो। होशियार।
Okay, we got our claim on Iran. We're going to wait until everybody is trained, but in the meantime, we are going to get our claim on Afghanistan as well. We can now also pick the military theorist, and we can start picking the regular doctrines.
होशियार।
What?
कमाल।
Okay, everyone is ready. Let's go after Iran. This can be a fairly challenging war, especially the first phase in here. It's a bit of a tough push. So let's see how it goes. Let's push with mountaineers only at first and see what happens.
जी जनाब।
Slow down the speed a little bit, and as soon as possible you can also pick the domestic... where is it? Not yet. Okay.
कमाल।
I think we can stop this guy down.
उन्हें पीछे धकेल
Probably a
रहे
good
हैं
idea.
जनाब।
Push with infantry as well to make things a bit faster. Yeah, the mountaineers are already unstoppable. They're not even done yet. Now, the biggest issue in Iran is supplies. We are not attacking from a nice area, so we do struggle a lot with supplies in here. Let's make sure these guys push the cost of Iran. That's the trick. So you keep the infantry pushing everywhere, it's okay. But mountaineers should focus on the southern coast.
कमाल। बाहर निकलो।
Germany doing historical stuff for once. When we don't care, when we are on the other side of the world, they do historical stuff.
करते रहो।
You can see how the mountaineers pushing from the coast are amazing. And we also have the air superiority thanks to the planes we took from Japan. Those planes are very much worth the focus. Because most of our opponents don't have planes at all.
हरकत के लिए तैयार। ध्यान से सुनो। कमाल।
Thing, of course. We got our claim on Afghanistan. We're not exactly ready yet. Hopefully we'll be soon.
होशियार। बाहर निकलो। अपनी जगह लो। ध्यान से सुनो। अपनी जगह लो। तैयार
Nice. We got the rest of the infantry. We can keep training them.
तैयार चलो चलो चलो
Now things are looking quite good in here.
तैयार जनाब ध्यान से सुनो चलो 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 हरकत के लिए तैयार उन्हें पीछे धकेल रहे हैं जनाब तैयार तैयार
Come on, Iran. It would be nice to go down now. Not yet.
अपनी जगह लो
Bit annoying.
होशियार उन्हें पीछे धकेल रहे हैं जनाब
Come on. Good. Finally. Okay, Iran took a while to go down, but in the end, they are indeed now. They are indeed down. Now, careful, you cannot puppet them because they will be attacked by the Soviet Union and the UK, so we don't want an Iran puppet. So what we can do instead is we can balkanize whatever is not Iran, so these people here, and that's okay, and we need to annex what is Iran. Now, it should be a bit earlier than this, but at some point you should be able to take domestic film industry. We cannot yet, which means we are not considered a major yet for some reason, but okay, that's fine. Whenever you can, you should pick the domestic film industry. And in any case, whenever Iran is down, force deploy the infantry if it's not down yet, and then start recruiting another 24 infantry divisions. We now want to take down Afghanistan as fast as possible, but Afghanistan is a pain in the ass as well. So we need to prepare our mountaineers from here. This is the best path to attack them, and we can get to the capital at least. And then we're going to use the infantry from here. We can go even with 2 infantry armies to push them a bit faster down here, and also because it will be a mess with the mountains at some point.
जी जनाब
We want to do this faster, so everybody hurry the fuck up, please.
कमात ध्यान से सुनो
Yeah, but use the trains, for fuck's sake.
अपनी जगह लो अपनी जगह लो जी जनाब ध्यान से सुनो
Okay, let's give them some planning, but we want to attack as fast as possible, ideally.
Friday evening last, I received His Majesty's commission.
What the fuck is this?
It was the evident wish and will of Parliament and the nation
How is British Burma doing this? What the fuck is this?
on the broadest
Okay, so apparently Afghanistan sometimes get guaranteed by British Burma. This is something completely new. It never happened in my previous test runs. But I think we may be able to take them anyway. So let's give it a try. Because I don't think British Burma can actually join them. Let's try. Let's give it a try. So these guys we need to call because we need to push from the entire front and then we need to see what happens. Planes on the mountaineers as always and let's go.
अपनी जगह लो उन्हें कब्जा
Here,
करने दो
Russia, Kabul as fast as possible, but that's not enough. To take down Afghanistan, you need to take all of their victory points, including this one. It's incredibly annoying. They keep last standing and you keep fighting in the mountains. The good news is, however, it seems like British Burma does not join them, cannot join them, so it's totally fine. It's only British Burma that guarantees them, it's not the UK, so it should not be an issue. You learn something new, some new bugs about this game every time. That's amazing. Well, Free France is not gonna give me shit anymore. Let's take it from Vichy France instead.
उन्हें कब्जा करने दो
Oh, we are finally considered a major, so we can pick domestic film industry. Let's go on and do that. And we are slightly late in terms of timing. It's nothing too bad. It's okay. Took a bit longer to take down Iran, maybe. Actually, I attacked them a bit later. I don't know why. That's okay. We got it covered, boys. We got it covered. We're going to pick the field hospital, which is actually very important for us. Authorize priority.
चलते
Now,
रहो
here the very important part is what the mountaineers can do. And it's very, very important that you use the mountaineers to push this area here. Otherwise, this is literally a nightmare.
अपनी जगह लो
Completely out of supplies. The mountaineers are the only divisions fast enough to get there.
कमाल
And it looks like it might be fine. There we go. Afghanistan is down. Now we can annex Afghanistan since it is our core, so we're very happy to do that. Now I wrote that this should be happening around April, May 1940. Oh yes, guys, we're on time. I was starting to get a bit worried with the timing, but yeah, we're perfectly on time. This is more or less when you actually this is the early moment you would like to capitulate Afghanistan. So everything going exactly as planned. Now at this point we're going to force deploy these other infantry divisions, another full infantry army, and we're going to make some changes. We're going to bring the Alpini divisions, if we did everything correctly it should be possible, to 25.2 width. And we cannot because it's over the limit. Okay. Maybe to 23. No, it's still over the limit. What the fuck? Why? 14-0. What's wrong with it? Why?
तैयार
So everybody should be in right here. Yeah, everybody's in.
जी जनाब
Inf is 18 with. Okay, and we lock the special forces capacity for some reason. Ah, fuck. Yeah, my bad. Okay, sorry. Yeah, after force deploying the infantry, we're going to increase the size of our infantry template to a total of 24 width. And after doing that, if we did everything correctly, it should also be possible to bring the mountaineers to a total of 25.2. There we go. Okay, so brief recap. After capitulating Afghanistan, force deploy your infantry, bring it to 24 width, and then bring the mountaineers to 25.2. Now we have a new priority in terms of buildings, in the sense that we need to connect this hub here to the rest of the hubs, and this must be, first of all, the highest level of railways. Then we will upgrade it actually, but especially it is our highest priority.
अहकामात
Now we also want to prepare our mountaineers at the border with China, because very soon we will need to carry on a very difficult push into China. So let's prepare them in there. Let's prepare one of our armies at the border with Xinjiang. They will be pushing in here.
ध्यान से सुनो
Another army will be at the border with Xibei. And another army will be supporting our mountaineers, but not yet. Otherwise we'll lack supplies, so they can wait back here. Another army can also wait back here while they get trained. We also want generals, so let's promote someone to be the general for these armies.
जी जनाब
Give them the highest motorization priority, aggressively execute battle plans, and especially train everyone. At 150 political power, we are going to replace the silent workhorse with the well-mannered demon.
होशियार
Now what we're waiting for here is for our mountaineers to be fully trained. First of all, they will need to be in position, and then they will need quite a lot of training before we are ready.
तैयार
This was a great trial of strength between the British and German air forces. Can you conceive a greater objective for the Germans in the air than to make evacuation from these bases possible? And to think all these ships which were displayed...
Alright, perfect. Now that they are trained, what we're going to do is we are going to join the Axis. Then we are going to start a justification on China.
and they were beaten back. They were frustrated in their task. We got the army away, and they have paid for.
And we are going to make sure that everybody is ready to push into China. Now, Japan will have the majority of the war score. It doesn't matter. We just need enough war score to take this area here of China. That's the key point of our strategy.
Military events which have happened during the past fortnight have not come to me with any sense of surprise. Indeed, I indicated
तैयार जनाब
as clearly as I could to the House.
The claim on China is a very fast one, so we need to be ready.
तैयार
I made it perfectly clear that whatever happened in France would make no difference to the resolve of Britain and the British Empire.
एकामात
There we go. We got our claim on China. It's time for the next step in our strategy. Let me make a save.
I have thought it right upon this occasion to give the House and the country some indication of the solid
And let's go after China. So war on China, we want to start pushing immediately with everyone, even people who are not fully trained, although I don't know why these guys didn't train. That's not great.
sink or swim. Better die than submit to tyranny and such a tyranny.
होशियार
And I do not dissociate myself from that.
And if everything goes well in here, we should be able to push very, very easily.
Advisors of the three services unitedly advised that we should get
हरकत के लिए तैयार
Don't forget that these Mountaineers divisions are amazing, absolutely amazing.
we have consulted all the services. These great committees
तैयार जनाब
far beyond the ocean
होशियार
have been built up on our laws and on our
The infantry pushes are just to give us some more score. They are not supposed to really succeed. They just want a score.
ancient motherland and who feel themselves inspired by the same emotions which lead me to stake our own.
Now, very important, but worth saying, obvious but worth saying, obvious, probably obvious but worth saying, we joined the Axis, but we don't join the war against the Allies. We're not interested in that.
जी
We are
जनाब
actually not going to help them at all.
The French government will be throwing away great opportunities.
हरकत के लिए तैयार
Okay, we can now send another army in here to cover this front and to push even further.
Treaty obligation
ध्यान से सुनो
which we have not felt able to release. The house full of red
As soon as you get the anti-air, start producing it. To factories, take them from Infantry Equip.
we have proclaimed our willingness at the dark guitar in French history to include a union of common citizens in its struggle. However matters may go in France or with the French government or other French governments, we in this
Did I pick the right one?
the British Empire will never lose our sense of comradeship with the French people. If we are now called upon to endure what they have been
Light aircraft, no, I didn't pick the right one.
ध्यान से सुनो
final victory rewards our toils, they
बाहर निकलो
again. I and freedom shall be restored to all. We abate nothing of our just demands. Not one jot or tittle do we receive. Czechs, Poles, Norwegians,
होशियार
Belgians, join their forces.
बाहर निकलो
What General Vickers called the Battle of France is over. I expect that the Battle of Britain is about to begin. Upon this battle depends the success. Upon it depends our own British life and the long continuity of our institutions and our empire. No, the might of the enemy must very soon be turned on us. Hitler knows that he will have to break our
Push in China is going well. Don't forget that the priority is to push in here. And as soon as you take Kunming, you also want to connect the railways. Because Kunming is a hub, but it is not currently connected. So we want to connect it.
if we fail, then the whole world, including
Okay, Yunnan has capitulated. That's going to help us.
into the abyss of a new dark age.
After Yunnan goes down, keep pushing in here. The goal is to reach this coast down here. So let's try to do that.
बाहर निकलो
So bear ourselves
अपनी जगह लो। तैयार।
Now, depending on how Japan is doing, each run is a bit different. China might go down a bit faster or a bit slower. For us, it doesn't matter that much as long as we get enough score to take this area and reach the coast here.
होशियार।
Oh, right. The last technology we unlocked was the field hospital. We should immediately add it to our Mountaineers template. And then give it... And then you should check out the war support, and if combat casualties are very high, they're okay, to be honest, in this case, but you can pick Exhort Heroism. I'm going to do it anyway. We have the political power to do it.
हरकत के लिए तैयार।
Casualties can get pretty high since we are pushing with just infantry everywhere, so it makes sense.
ध्यान से सुनो। हमला करते रहो। कमाल। तैयार जनाब।
Painfully advance to the coast. As soon as we take a harbor, it will be much better. But for now, supplies are basically non-existent. Oh, by the way, we can pick the tactic, but maybe later. Gunning is also going to help, but especially the harbor is going to help massively. Now we can think about pushing them a lot more. Now, everything that we control at the end of the war will be much cheaper in the peace conference, despite Japan having the majority of the score. So taking the coast here will be very nice, if we can.
Come on.
Would actually be nice if Japan did anything at this point, and just pushing a bit more would be nice. Japan, what are you doing there? Very slow. Now, in terms of railways, we also need to connect the last few hubs here. So this one and this one to this one. It. Maybe let's not leave them that place. This part of the run can get a bit slow because pushing China is not easy. It's never easy. The Mountaineers can do it very well, but it still takes a while. This thing though, this thing is quite OP. Look at what it does. When you activate it, you get less heat attrition, you get less division attrition, supply grace for 240 hours, and remove the chance to get sick for your generals. This is an amazing decision, especially when you need to push in low supplies areas like here.
चलते रहो.
I'll send the last army as well to cover this front. We have a big front against China.
जी जनाब.
This is going to be good for our score, for our participation, because Japan is doing very bad in this one. Often at this point, they have already lost. China has already lost.
उन्हें पीछे धकेल रहे हैं जनाब. अपनी जगह लो. Kamat.
Look at the mess, the absolute mess that there is here.
Kamat.
And let's try to adjust it at least a little bit for my mental sanity.
बाहर निकलो. होशियार.
Yeah, these guys are fine. Okay, so we are going to use the Mountaineers to try and rush some of the victory points. Let's start from these ones and then go for the other ones. Going to be a struggle. There is no other way. A bit annoying that after all of these we still only have 8%. It's absolutely not fair. We did most of the job.
जी जनाब. Kamat.
Planning.
तैयार जनाब.
Okay, let's go with Mountaineers.
आओ चले.
We can actually use this new special decision. This will help a lot with supplies as we push. So now the Mountaineers are properly unstoppable. You need to embrace this part of the run. You need to accept it. It's actually fun to push in low supplies areas when you have good Mountaineers. Let's put it that way.
हम ना करते रहो.
Look at us. Look at how we push the victory points even without supplies at all.
अपनी जगह लो.
Thanks to the new OP decision that we got. Or thanks to the new commander ability that we got. This is crazy.
जनाब.
Insane. And he's doing nothing at all.
तैयार.
I mean, it's very difficult to push China this well, honestly. Even when you play as Japan, it's very difficult to push China this fast. Usually use the spy. By the way, we have a spy that we can use in here. Not very useful. Usually you have collaboration governments with Japan. And by the way, we wouldn't use them anyway, or it wouldn't be useful anyway to create them, because we don't have the majority of the score. And without the majority of the score, the collaboration governments are useless. So making them, getting another spy and making them wouldn't make things faster, unfortunately. China is almost down, so I would say we're doing pretty good here.
चलो चलो चलो.
Yeah, ooh, that's a lot of divisions, and those are Soviet divisions. Those are all Soviet divisions, so it's gonna be very difficult to push them.
हरकत के लिए तैयार.
May have to try, otherwise we're going to push them.
तैयार.
Certainly need to focus more on this area now. This is literally the last victory point they have. That's what we need to push for sure. We can take the close air support genius. Soon we will get some planes. It's not time yet, but we'll get there.
अपनी जगह लो.
Only thing that worries me a bit is this place. That's not a place that we will get easily.
तैयार. ध्यान से सुनो. Kamat.
Why don't you have railways in China? Why don't you have supply hubs in China as well?
जी जनाब.
And why is Japan doing nothing? That's the other big question.
बाहर निकलो.
By the way, one of the reasons we joined the Axis is we get a lot of discounts on technologies. So that's very, very convenient. Here is a bit of a messed up version of the MIO priority for planes, but basically this one.
Kamat.
Let's give it another try. We're very close
तैयार जनाब.
and yet very far. Because they have so many divisions in there, it's crazy.
बाहर निकलो.
Somehow need to encircle them. We never get it. Oh! Good news, everyone. Good news. Whew. Okay, China is finally down, and the good news is actually we got a fair amount of the score. It's not always this good, so pretty happy with that. Our usual goal, to be fair, is between 10 and 15%, so we are a bit above the high level, or the higher end. Now, the biggest priority here is to annex a path to this province here. So this one we absolutely need, and then we need a path that connects these to our mainland. So we need to keep going like this. It's enough to have a small path, it doesn't need to be big, something like this is enough. Although we do need the railway, so we need this one too. Otherwise, we don't have the railways. We need this one too. And then it's also quite convenient, if you can afford it, to take this one here. Otherwise, we will struggle a lot with supplies. If you have a bit spare, if you have some spare points, you can take a couple more. Maybe we can take this one here, and maybe we can take this one here. Okay, this looks very nice. Now, Japan, for some reason, completely ignores this area, so this is also free to take. Therefore, we can continue. Therefore, we can pop it. These two here, these two provinces here, and all of Xinjiang. Yeah, and as you can see, we had some spare points, but this is what we really need. The rest is not absolutely mandatory. And we can confirm. Alright, so it is December 1940. We are becoming quite powerful, but we are not quite there yet. So what is next, other than these horrible borders? Well, I'm sorry to tell you boys, but what's next is another war on China. We're not done yet with China. So the first thing we're going to do though is we're going to recruit 48 infantry divisions in here. Then we're going to occupy territories and we're going to release Yunnan here. Next, we're going to start a justification on Manchukuo. Now, since we are in the Axis, Germany and Italy will not help Japan, despite guaranteeing their independence. So that's the biggest part of our strategy, let's say, for now. Of course, China is a puppet of Japan, so the moment we declare war on Manchukuo, we'll be at war with Japan and all of their puppets, which means we will need to take down China again, but it will be easier this time.
तैयार जी जनाब होशियार
Alright, so first of all, we're going to use our mountaineers to carry on most of the pushes, and the push must be always along the coast of China. This is where the supply hubs are, and this is where we want to be with our mountaineers. We can prepare them in here, and we can give them an offensive command like this one, something like this, it's fine. They will be the only people with the offensive marshal, so with Bose. Everybody else will be with a different marshal. It doesn't really matter which one, we can simply promote the best available one. Yeah, that's not the greatest idea, maybe. Okay.
Come on.
The second marshal with all of the infantry armies will be on a martial line along the entire border of China, and that's quite a huge border, but it doesn't matter. Something like this, it's fine. We can give them an offensive line like this, and it's gonna be good. Let's make sure that he also has the highest motorization priority and that everyone in there is training. I actually regret a bit changing this guy now. I want this guy here, so we're going to have to promote somebody else to marshal here, because I don't want this guy to be the marshal. I want him to stay as the leader of the mountaineers. Made a bit of a mistake there. Now we can continue. As everybody gets in position.
ध्यान से सुनो
Now, as soon as possible, we want to force deploy these divisions, and we want to recruit another 4 Alpini divisions. There we go.
तैयार
Now this means we will get another 2 armies out of here eventually when we force deploy everyone. These armies for now we can simply train. Later on we can use them to protect the coastline from naval invasions as we advance into China. And we may also need them to protect this border here and British Burma if they fall to Siam when Vichy France gets given to Japan. So those are just spare armies that we may need. Yeah, our manpower suffered a bit. He pushes with infantry only, but that's okay. Don't worry.
तैयार है कमात अपनी जगह लो
Yeah, another thing we may need to do is,
कमात
for a bit, we need to split off some mountaineers to quickly take care of this region here. Nothing too difficult, but yeah, we need to take care of it.
है कमात अपनी जगह लो
Also, always make sure that your hubs are connected by railways. It's by far the most important thing here. And our biggest priority in terms of buildings as well.
जी जनाब
Okay, we got our claim on Manchukuo. It means it is time for our war on Japan. Now, if you consider that Azad Hind was related to Japan, it makes sense that India Unchained is about Azad Hind defeating their masters and taking down China and Japan. Well, nothing separates us from that anymore. So as we attack them, as soon as possible, we also want to deploy all of our planes. We don't have many yet, and we still have only the Japanese planes. But anything is better than nothing, and quite soon actually we'll complete the last 2 researches and we will be able to produce our own planes. In the meantime, we can start pushing without planes.
हरकत के लिए तैयार
Also, the focus that we just completed will help a lot with recruitable population and manpower, so things will get a little bit better.
होशियार कमात
Okay, these guys are still training, but if you see any parts of the front in which you're struggling a little bit, you can send them. We don't have enough generals, so we need to send them without. But it's still better than nothing.
बाहर निकलो तैयार
Nice. Now that we are done with this place, we can gather back all mountaineers together and keep pushing along the coast.
जी जनाब
Around this point, I usually pick another exhort heroism to keep the war support up.
जी
It
जनाब
depends. It always depends a bit on the casualties. They're not very high right now, but
ध्यान से सुनो
you need to constantly reorganize mountaineers in here. It's a bit tricky, but it's okay.
तैयार एकामात
When you have the command power, from time to time to get new generals.
होशियार जी जनाब
It's a big front to manage, but it is also a big front for the Japanese, and well, we have the
ध्यान
mountaineers.
से सुनो
They don't have these mountaineers. The template we're using at the moment is this one, in case you're curious, and it is absolutely crazy. Not so much for the total soft attack. You can get more with tanks, and let me show it where we look at them. Of course, you can get more soft attack when you use tanks or artillery. But the amazing thing here is the combat width is perfect for the mountains, are quite big, and the supply use is very, very low. So this template is absolutely amazing in low supply areas. And in addition to the decent soft attack, you also get some very nice modifiers, of course, especially in the mountains with this plus 55% attack and plus 25% attack in the hills. There are a lot of mountains and hills in here, so this template just becomes unstoppable. And you can see it. You can see the results in here. And you can see us being encircled. Are we getting encircled though? Or are they getting encircled though? They are getting encircled here. Oh, yes they are.
तैयार
Yes they are.
ध्यान से सुनो
Now let's also let's force deploy the last divisions as well. I'll send the mountaineers even though they are not trained. Same thing for these guys actually. They can keep training, but whatever.
ध्यान से सुनो तैयार जनाब होशियार
Okay, here we cannot push them yet. Let's go down instead. But guys, do not forget to connect the hubs in here, because they are never connected, as you can see. And the convoys are being raided by the Japanese, so going by land is much, much better.
तैयार जनाब ध्यान से सुनो हरकत के लिए तैयार
We can keep pushing in here.
बाहर निकलो हरकत के लिए तैयार। होशियार।
And of course, as soon as you get the engines, it is time to design and produce our usual F2. Here we go, we can finally load it, that's amazing. Light aircraft designer, make sure to auto upgrade it. We don't have enough air experience. Why don't we have enough air experience? Because I didn't take the ground support expert. When didn't I take the ground support expert? When was it? Yeah, I think it was this one. Yeah, okay, boys, so it looks like I made a small mistake, and it makes sense. Instead of taking the close air support genius, we should have taken the ground support expert, and at this point we would have the air experience that we require. No big deal, we will take it in a bit and have it slightly later, it's fine.
हरकत के लिए तैयार।
Oh, there we go. 100 army, 100 political power. Let's pick the ground support. We need 15 grounds. We need 15 air experience to design our planes. We're going to do it soon. And with this doctrine perk, we also unlock breakthrough, which is the best offensive tactic. So make sure to pick it on whoever can pick it.
तैयार जनाब। बाहर निकलो।
Can we not push this place? What the fuck? Come on, boys. Yeah, okay, we need to pay attention to naval invasions. We have these armies here for this specific purpose. So when there is a naval invasion, you move them from this border and you protect from the naval invasion. Naval invasions are not necessarily a bad thing. They are actually good for destroying some of their divisions. But you do need to counter them fast.
कमात बाहर निकलो, पीछे हटो। चलते रहो। अपनी जगह लो। होशियार। तैयार। बाहर निकलो। हरकत के लिए तैयार। हमला करते रहो। ध्यान से सुनो। हरकत के लिए तैयार। ध्यान से सुनो। Kamat. Kamat.
If you feel like it's needed, you can send back some mountaineers. Like in this case, it looks like we cannot easily push away this naval invasion. So I'll send mountaineers to take care of it. Not all of them though.
तैयार जनाब। Kamat.
But at least we got the air experience required for the F2, so we can finally make it. There we go. This should have been done a little bit earlier. As you can see, it wasn't a big difference. Now we are going to adjust the production a little bit here. We're going to bring the production of support equipment to 10. That's not really needed. No, yeah, it is needed to 10. So we're going to bring the production of support equip to 10. Artillery. Let me do all of them first. Artillery and anti-air to 5. Yeah, artillery and anti-air to 5. The infantry equip will be at 30. And everything else goes into the F2 design. So this is a new production priority. Of course, make sure to adjust trade.
Kamat. तैयार जनाब। बाहर निकलो।
And guys, as you can see, we keep pushing along the coastline. Okay, so you keep taking the harbors and push along the coastline.
हौसले बरकरार रखो।
Take care of these guys, maybe.
बाहर
Nice.
निकलो। उन्हें पीछे धकेल रहे हैं जनाब। कमात। जी जनाब।
Interesting that China had a facility.
तैयार जनाब।
Yeah, they're making me work to get rid of this naval invasion. Get them.
बाहर निकलो। कमात।
I mean, can we stop these guys from reinforcing everyone, maybe? Nice. Oh, we can.
Come on.
In terms of air experience, don't use it for doctrines. We need to save it. Yeah, this is the amazing spearheads bug. Perfect. Usual. What we can do is deploy planes whenever possible. Okay.
तैयार बाहर निकलो
Oh, that was the harbor. Now you're in big trouble here. Finally time to end this naval invasion. Well, in the end I did lose a bit of divisions. That's nice. And especially we got back our railway, which they took initially. It was annoying. Yeah, we're a bit stuck in here. But let's see if we can take it. Maybe with this. Oh, they naval invade again. Look at that. Yeah, okay.
जी जनाब
Just finished with one.
आओ चले होशियार होशियार अपनी जगह लो
Once you reach this area, you keep pushing, and this time the idea is to get maybe the biggest encirclement ever in the game, so we encircle China, basically.
उन्हें पीछे धकेल रहे हैं जनाब
This guy's dying, possibly. Oh, finally.
तैयार जनाब
We need to take care of the other naval invasion.
तैयार कमाद होशियार अपनी जगह लो
The US will be in the war now. Japan attacked the Philippines. This doesn't change too much for us. It's overall fine. But one thing we can start considering at this point is we can consider pushing with everyone to speed up things a little bit. Maybe it's not time yet, but pretty soon I think we can do it. Okay, no, stop pushing there though, that's too much.
United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces.
हमला करते रहो जी जनाब
Yeah, another naval invasion ending quite badly for the Japanese. Okay, as soon as you get the transport plane, you want to start producing them right away. We're actually going to dedicate 10 factories to them, and we're going to take them from the F2 design.
Japanese air squadrons had commenced bombing in the American island of Oahu.
We're also going to do something a little bit crazy here. We're also going to do something a bit crazy here. We're going to our infantry template, and we're going to add the engineer company, the support anti-air, the support artillery, and the rangers to this template. We're going to save it,
कमाद
and we're going to wait for a bit, but as soon as I get the equipment, we'll consider pushing with them.
War or of armed attack. It will be recorded that the daily from Japan make
तैयार जनाब होशियार हरकत के लिए तैयार हरकत के लिए तैयार
Japan is burning a lot of their divisions with these naval invasions.
between San Francisco and Honolulu. Yesterday, the Japanese government also
Okay, another one done. And we can bring back the mountaineers together. I'm now going to use one of these two armies on coastal defense for further naval invasions. Probably the best option.
हरकत के लिए तैयार
The other one can join the Marshall Line.
तैयार जनाब
Now, sometimes at this point I start training them so they get the new equipment and they get fully trained. It's a bit risky though because the Japanese may push you at that point. It depends a bit on the situation.
speak for themselves. The people of the United States have already formed their opinions and well understand the implications for the very life and safety of our nation. As
तैयार जनाब
of the Army and Navy, I have directed that all measures
But we can see that they are starting to struggle massively now. The encirclement of China is almost complete.
ध्यान से सुनो
And no supplies whatsoever. That's another story.
तैयार जनाब
Yeah, why would you go in there though? Don't go. Yeah, this is why I don't usually assign them on coastal defense, because what is this command? What are they even trying to do? Crazy.
हरकत के
Crazy
लिए
stuff.
तैयार
Okay, I would say that these guys are pretty much trained.
हरकत के लिए
So
तैयार
let's stop training them and let's just push with everybody. This will destroy the manpower. That's okay. It will speed up things significantly though.
तैयार
We can also call these people into the war. Usually Japan declares war on them, so they are usually in the war. If they are not, we can call them.
होशियार الكمات
I would tell you to rush victory points. The problem is that there are no victory points, so it's a bit difficult to rush them. So the only ones that are in there probably are these ones, so we can move the mountaineers down here and help the push here, which is also the tougher part probably.
الكمات
To keep in mind that it doesn't seem to happen here, but Japan can also demand Vichy France and Siam, for some reason, is not with Japan, but usually they are with Japan, and sometimes they are able to push Burma, in which case you will need to protect this border and this border as well. But we have additional armies, so we got everything covered.
ध्यान से सुनो बाहर निकलो
Okay, let's just push.
आओ चले चलो 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 जी जनाब
This is a talk on national security. Because the nub of the whole purpose of
अहकामात
Wow, it's a lot of divisions that they have encircled in here. Crazy. We're closer, but not close enough.
चलते रहो
Be nice to get this. Okay, now Siam joined Japan actually. Bit late. Or maybe we're a bit early. There is also that possibility.
होशियार
I even see some green air. The miracle. Yeah, we cannot deploy it because we don't have the manpower. But
तैयार जनाब ध्यान से सुनो
now they declare war on Yunnan. Interesting choice. I think we should be there with China. Yeah, 5%. What a pain in the ass. But yeah, China is down. Not that it changes much because everything left in here is basically Japanese units, which are getting completely obliterated.
ये तैयार
And this is great because later on when we get to Japan, they will have even less units than usual.
हरकत के लिए
Okay, the regular army can probably take care of these, so it's time to move the mountaineers in here and plan a push for Korea.
जी जनाब जी जनाब अपनी जगह लो अपनी जगह लो तैयार बाहर निकलो तैयार
Oh, they had 14 divisions in there. I saw them just for a second, but the army of Japan is slowly disappearing, and not even that slowly, actually. And we probably need to speed it up a bit on this side. Especially what we need is to take the harbor, which is just there. It's open. Nobody's defending it, but we're not taking it. Because we like being without supplies. That's the dark truth of my mountaineers. They are so specialized in no supply areas that they love being without supplies. Almost coming to an end, China, Japan.
ध्यान से सुनो
I think we can push in here now without issues, now that we got some supplies at least. Now, we can finally solve our manpower issues as soon as you get enough political power. You need 312 to pick limited conscription. But it's going to be worth it. It's a lot of manpower coming our way.
तैयार
Oh yeah, right, we need to pay attention to this thing. Although Yunnan now actually has an army in there. But in case we may want to send another one just to protect them.
हमला करते रहो
Point, let's make it an offensive doctrine. We actually lost a couple of divisions there. Need to train them again.
तैयार
Yeah, look at manpower going up.
जी जनाब जी जनाब हरकत के लिए तैयार
Of course, after you're done with China, you take care of Manchukuo, but especially you want the mountaineers to rush Korea, because Korea is where we will start our invasion of Japan. So it is the highest priority.
जी जनाब
And as soon as you get the paratroopers, or as soon as you get the political power, after the paratroopers, you want to diversify elite forces, because we need to make some paratroopers. Also, now that we have manpower, we can deploy all of our planes. Let's go on and do that.
चलते रहो अपनी जगह लो जी जनाब होशियार
Okay, there we go. Political power, enough political power to diversify elite forces. So now we're going to pick the paratrooper doctrines. Wait a second, where is God? So now we're going to use some of this area experience that we have been saving to pick the paratroopers doctrines as much as possible. You should have a bit more than I did actually here.
जी जनाब
We're going to bring our infantry template to 15 divisions, a 15-0 for a total combat width of 30, so we can change them. And that means we can design our paratroopers and we can change them a little bit. Now this is not entirely needed, but I like to have them 10 combat width. You can keep them smaller too, because the Japanese will not be able to contest them anyway. We're also going to add all of the support companies, those ones we can afford. Including the Rangers and the Field Hospital for a total of 50 army experience. We're going to make them elite. And we're going to recruit 10 of them. Put it here. Now, as you take Korea, you want to build infrastructures and you want to build air bases in Korea as well as in this province here.
अहकामात हरकत के लिए तैयार
Oh, Korea is almost entirely done, and Japan is almost entirely done. They basically don't have divisions. The only issue is we need to go to Japan, and for that we are going to need paratroopers because we don't have a fleet at all.
ध्यान से सुनो
So, while we wait for that, we can set up our mountaineers in here. We can train them as the rest of the army will push what's left of Manchukuo.
तैयार
Now, what is important at this point is that we take all of our planes and we send them to Korea. We start engaging the Japanese in here, ideally. Soon we will get the air bases, so the space for planes will be enough. We actually want to force deploy our paratroopers as soon as possible. We're going to gather them together with the mountaineers. We're going to send them to this airfield here. We're going to start training them and we're going to give them the second best general we have available.
अहकामात
Oh, nice. Manchukuo went down. I didn't even notice. Okay, so now only Japan is left.
तैयार जनाब
His army has nothing to do at this point, but we can set them on area defense.
तैयार
Ooh, big mistake that I did not notice. Oh, guys, you need to change this, of course. Yeah, this was a massive mistake. Yeah, at some point of the run, early in the run, you don't want to be on harsh quarters anymore, of course. You want to switch back to local police force, and you want to switch back to cavalry. Wow, this was massive. This was a huge deficit for us. Yeah, this damage does a lot. Yeah, okay. Well, it's amazing that we still managed to do everything as planned, but that's why we had a bit less manpower than normal. That certainly didn't help. Also didn't help in terms of buildings. That's why everything is destroyed. Wow, big mistake. Yeah, let me see if I didn't read it or I didn't write it, which would be more serious. Yeah, no, I didn't read it and I didn't do it in the guide, but I did write it in the spreadsheet. So my mistake. Don't make it when you follow the guide, and yeah. I will need to remember maybe to add it as a subtitle at some point of the run so you don't forget. Because that's very important.
तैयार
Oh, yeah, the Japanese took French Indochina, which means they finally took Vichy France. At this point, we may want to cover this border, and we can even try to push in there if we want to.
है कमात ध्यान से सुनो
Yeah, I think at this point we would have a lot more planes if I didn't fuck up the occupation law. But hey, we made it work. We made it work despite that. And that is impressive. Yeah, let's also use our spy in Japan. It can help.
अपनी जगह लो तैयार
Okay, we can gather all planes in here. Now, the Japanese are not contesting us in here. So I'm assuming they are in the mainland. No, we actually can get green air. This is amazing. So, yeah, we're not going to do it just yet because the Japanese do move their air force in there after a while. So what we're going to do is as soon as these guys are at regular training... Oh, as soon as these guys are trained... Not fully trained.
जी जनाब
We're going to use the usual trick with paratroopers. So the trick is this: we stop training them first of all, then we give them the paratrooper order, and we can go with groups of 2. But the only thing we really care about is taking Nagasaki.
है कमात है कमात
So take the entire area around Nagasaki, so that if even just one of them is able to get down, then you can take the harbor. As soon as you take the harbor, you send the mountaineers and it's basically over.
तैयार
So let's make sure they get their organization back. And by the way, at this point, let's pick one last exhort heroism, since we have a terrible combat casualties analysis.
हरकत के लिए तैयार
And then we're going to set our planes to Japan and see if we get green air. We do. If we get green air, well, that's easy. You just trigger them. If you don't get green air, the trick is you keep switching provinces. So you right-click here, then you right-click here, 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 while unpausing the game. And eventually you will trigger the paratroopers. That always works. Okay, they actually do have somebody in Nagasaki, but that's not going to be enough to save them.
जी जनाब बाहर निकलो हमला करते रहो
Nagasaki is taken, meaning our mountaineers can now go.
Ahkamat.
And these guys can start pushing everywhere. Now Japan is a bit of a mess,
Janab.
but doesn't matter.
Ji, Janab. Ahkamat.
They literally don't have divisions anymore because we wiped them almost completely.
Hoshyar. Dhyan se suno.
And our mountaineers can be in here. Yeah, see, they would have some planes. They would have had yellow air. So that's very important to do it quickly or to keep switching provinces until you get green air. Unless you want to do it more fairly. In that case, you just leave your planes in here. Our planes are better, so eventually you would get green air anyway. But it would probably take a while.
हरकत के लिए तैयार.
Okay, we can start pushing with the mountaineers.
Janab. Hoshyar.
That's a bit late, Japan. That's a bit late. Good attempt.
Hoshyar.
I'm curious to see the score, so we will need to share some with the UK and with the US, but that's okay.
हरकत के लिए तैयार. उन्हें पीछे धकेल रहे हैं जनाब.
Japan is going down fast, and it's actually only July 1942. This is not bad at all. If I didn't cripple my own economy by not changing the occupation law, we would have a much better economy at this point of the run. Because we spent most of the time repairing stuff. It works.
कमान. हरकत के लिए तैयार. ध्यान से सुनो. तैयार. Ahkamat.
And before Japan goes down, let me make a save.
होशियार. तैयार जनाब.
That will be pretty soon.
हरकत के लिए तैयार.
As Tokyo falls, Japan will fall with it. So Japan is almost down. Let me make a save. What is this? Never seen before. Tokyo is down, boys. Japan is down, and we get 89% of the score, which means we can basically do whatever we want with it. So what I usually do at this point is I just puppet everything, starting with China. And then Japan. Nobody has the points to contest us, so we can take everything we want. Now for the Navy we need about 2,500 points, so we can also take the resource rights and the war reparations. Though remember that you do want to have those points for the Navy, so make sure you have enough. 2,800 is enough. We can take the entire Japanese Navy. We're very happy with that. The Navy is the priority. So let's confirm. It is July 1942, Japan is down, and we did something amazing with India. In 1937 we had 8 factories and nothing at all, and now we have absolutely amazing stability, amazing war support, huge manpower, and finally a good industry. But more importantly, we got a navy. We got the entire Japanese navy, and with the Japanese navy we can do anything we want at this point. We actually are already in the Axis, so if we wanted to help Germany we could simply send a fleet here and naval invade the UK easily from here. We can also help them against the Soviet Union, of course. Or we can betray the Axis, which is one of my favorite things, leave them and help the Soviet Union against them, or just fight them on our own. We can also navally invade the United States with the fleet we have, because the Japanese fleet is actually very good, and it is full of carriers which are great for naval supremacy. We got an amazing army, and especially we got these fantastic Mountaineers divisions. Later on, if we get enough cap, and maybe by disbanding the paratroopers that we don't need anymore, we can aim at bringing these divisions to the very meta 32.4 combat width, and then they will be just unstoppable. So guys, we got to the end of this run, and it was a tough one. It was a tough one to work on. You cannot imagine how many times I tried this run. I tested it in the early access, then I messed it up, then I tried it again and again and again, and finally we got this strategy down, and this strategy is amazing. It's a tough run, it's challenging to fight in China without supplies, but the final outcome is very gratifying, so I really think you should give it a try. Even if you do not have the DLC or you cannot play, you don't want to play as India, you must absolutely try the Mountaineer template I showed you in this run, because it works amazingly in all low supply terrains. Now, this run killed China, killed Japan, killed me. I'm dead. I'm so tired. So I definitely need to take a break, and then I have quite a lot of editing to do because this was also a long video. And so as always, even more than always, if you enjoyed the video, please do not forget to support the channel by liking the video, subscribing, and leaving me a comment. Your support is always amazing, guys, so thank you so much for staying with me. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye bye!